What's going on, guys? Kak36 Gaming here. So we are back with another Pokemon Go video. Today I'm going to show you how to get the highest CP or combat powered Pokemon in Pokemon Go. It is ultimately going to help you get better Pokemon and you can rank up quicker than ever in Pokemon Go. And in today's Pokemon Go video, I'll be answering a question that gets asked a lot, which is how do I make my Pokemon stronger, or how do I get the best team? That is essentially saying, how do I get the highest CP Pokemon? I'll be 100% honest with you guys that there's no real quick way to power up your Pokemon. However, there are certain aspects and methods you can take into consideration to build a strong team. Without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. So let's start off with the basics. All Pokemon have a different individual factor that determines how strong your Pokemon is, which is called CP, which also stands for combat power. Now this variable is randomly generated when you stumble upon a Pokemon in the wild. However, your trainer level is very influential in determining the CP of a Pokemon in the wild. So essentially, the higher your level, the higher the CP for the Pokemon in the wild. However, it is still possible for you to find a low CP Pokemon. This doesn't mean that every Pokemon in the wild is going to be strong, but it means that you have a fairly good chance of finding a high CP Pokemon. One way to find high CP Pokemon is just by playing the game. I know it sounds really dumb, but that is just the quickest and best way to do it. Just level yourself up and look for new Pokemon. Secondly, look at the gauge underneath where it says the combat power and just over the Pokemon. If the gauge is full, then that means that the Pokemon has reached its highest potential. In order to fill up the gauge, you must power up your Pokemon, which will order you to use Stardust and some of your candies. The Stardust and candies are obtained once you catch a Pokemon. However, the candies have to be specifically to the type of Pokemon that you are trying to level up. For example, if I'm trying to evolve my Pidgey into a Pidgeotto, I would need to find Pidgey candies. Every time I catch a Pidgey, I would get 3 Pidgey candies. And if I want to transfer them to the Professor, I will get 1 candy. Now every time you power up your Pokemon, the amount of Stardust will usually increase. Once you get your candies and your Stardust, and you start powering up your Pokemon, the CP gauge will start filling up. Once it is completely filled, the Pokemon has reached its highest potential, and when you evolve the Pokemon, it will be maxed. The last and final trick that I have to get high CP Pokemon is by using Pokefind. I'll put a link to that down in the description. So this is an estimation on how your evolution is going to turn out. So for this, I'll be using my 110 CP Pidgey, as what you can see on the screen. Next, I want to back out of Pokemon Go and go into Safari. And in the search bar, I would type in Pokefind. And it should be the first search that comes up, that's the one. You click on that. And then here you should see the Pokefind logo underneath the search bar. Then underneath that on the left it should say Pokemon, and just to the right of that it should say Evolve Calculator. You want to click on that. All you want to do is follow what it's asking. So for step 1, it says select your Pokemon. And in my case, I'm using a Pidgey. So these are in alphabetical order, so it should be pretty easy to find. So P for Pidgey. And you just click done. And then a picture of a Pidgey should come up. And then step 2 is enter your Pokemon CP. My Pidgey CP was 110, so I'll type in 110. And I click done, and then all you want to do is click estimate. And since a Pidgey has two stages of evolution, the first stage's results are that the CP range is between 188 CP and 215 CP. And the average is approximately 207, and that's for the Pidgeotto, which, like I said, is a first evolution. This is telling me that if I go and evolve my Pidgey, the CP for the first evolution will be no less than 188 and no more than 215. Now, all I'm going to do is go back into Pokemon Go and actually evolve my Pidgey and see how close this estimation is. So, I'm just going to go back into Pokemon Go, and then all I'm going to do is on that 110 CP Pidgey, I'm going to click evolve, and I click. And in my head, I'm just running the numbers that it was estimated, such as 188 to 215. So let's see where this lands. So it's a Pidgeotto, and it is waiting. Okay, waiting. It is 208, and as we could see, the average was 207. So our Pidgeotto is just above average. So using that Pokefind, it'll help you get the closer estimation, so you know what the next evolution, how much the CP is going to be. If you think it's too low, all you're going to do is power up the Pidgey until it's high, and then you just retype it in and see what the estimation is. And those are some tricks on how to get high CP Pokemon. If you like this video, please smash a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.